Pokémon! Sitting Cuties! I have waited so long for a plush line that contains every single Pokémon. Known as Pokémon Fit in Japan, these plushes sit. They fit, and they cute as... And of course, I bought all of them, and would like to write them off on my taxes. So here is a mini review of every Sitting Cutie. Today is Gen 1 Day. Because every day is Gen 1 Day to the Pokemon Company. Ugh. We start with Bulbasaur. With each of these plushes, we must judge if they live up to their name. Do they sit? Are they cute? And what other features are noteworthy? Well, in the case of Bulbasaur, it does sit, and it's cute. But it also has an old guy face going on, and the top of the bulb gives me the jeebs. Ivysaur is looking good with its ability to sit, and still reppin' that weird mouth line. And it has a wonderfully detailed flower on its back. Venusaur is now full-on old man, though it's wonderfully sitting and has a well-designed flower thing. Though I do have to say that all of the sitting cuties that have these thin, single sheets of felt all have a crusty, hard plastic bit where they heat-cut the shapes. An unfortunate side effect of the rapid mass production. Oh, and Venusaur has nice heft to it. Squirtle is cute, and it sits. It's perfectly small also. Its shell is also super soft, which means it's not getting enough calcium in its diet. And Wartortle. Rip. It's got a manufacturing fault on its face. Look at that string. And don't even get me started on how flat it looks. Its ears seem to be matted down, and the tail doesn't help it sit very well. It likes to flop. Blastoise. 4 out of 6. Very good. Soft shell. Nice cannon. And it sits. Well, actually, it looks to be standing. But also, it can spin on its back like a top. Wow, an applause sound effect. Charmander is cute and sittable, and has a gargantuan head. Egad, be careful around it, it will brain blast. And due to this honkin' head, it's actually bigger than Charmeleon, which is also, by the way, extremely red. Like, I know it's supposed to be a darker orange and a little bit more red than the other two, but this is just straight red. Charmeleon's head-on view is also the dumbest looking, and this plush as a whole is basically the Charmander one again, but with different details, like the feet fingers and the tail fire, but the body is identical. Charizard, who also sits, is pretty good. Its teeth, though, they point horizontally out, which is pretty funny looking, honestly, and its hands look a bit like crumpled chicken feet, which is a real thing. Caterpie cannot sit. Very bad. Still cute, though. Not from face on, though. Metapod, a classic. However, this one sits there just perfectly, like normal. That's all they ever do. However, this one cannot do the only other thing Metapods do, and that's use harden. Also, is that a mouth? I've never thought about it. Butterfree! So if we were using a tier list that for some reason used letters, but A wasn't the best, this Butterfree would be an S tier sitting cutie. It's actually better than the animated version. It is beyond cute. And it actually sits. Full round of applause. This plush. Oh my god. Nice and cute, with little ball feet that are super soft and fun to pet. Kakuna. You had one job, and you can't do either of them. It can't sit there or use harden, nor is it really all that cute. Worthless. And also, its Kakuna arm having is sort of just muddled and lost with the stitching lines. It just looks very lumpy, but Beedrill. Well, I do like the wings and the eyes, a really good choice of material there. However, the stinger makes it unable to really sit, and it joins its bee brethren dead on the floor. Pidgey sits, but it's not cute. But its tail is fun to flap back and forth. Pidgeotto sits, almost stands honestly, and has fun hair to pet. The tail, however, it's clumpy, not feathery like I want it to be. Pidgeot also has a fun tail. Weird legs. The small details really get donked up on these. I do enjoy the long head hair feather things though, but it seems a little flat because of the stitching. Aww, Rattata! Very cute. Sits, and it's a good color purple. I really dig it. 4 stars. I don't like Raticate.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
It sits, but at what cost? Its hands, good lord, and the mouth that's like full of fluff, and it's not pettable at all. This whole back is spiky, hard edge fabric. It looks nice, but wrong! The pain! Do not snuggle! The tail is rat-like though, so props for that. Spearow! Fun, flappy tail. The mouth has that odd smirky face too. How do they do that with a beak? Fearow. Its beak is so sad looking. like a Squidward bird, but with a chicken head, or maybe a rubber glove on its head. The wings are so weird and oddly finger-like, but they are soft, so not bad. Also, what's under the frills? Oh, nothing. But it looks funny. Ekans, the cutest snake. Oh gosh, I love this plushie. A little weird-looking face on, but who isn't? Oh, and its eyes, like bee drills, are extremely satisfying to touch. Do not try with real snakes and bees, though. Now, Arbok is chonky. Dang, boy, it's thick. I did not realizing how freaking short its body apparently is. But yeah, its head is almost the same size as its body, which makes sitting difficult. Pikachu! I'm glad they didn't ruin this one. It sits, and it's cute. I mean, really, if they messed this one up, oof. That would be a nice big yikers, my guy. So yeah, it's good. Very good, easy, cute Pokemon. Next is Advanced Pikachu. It's also got a good little cute face. Though with the new Soda Pop plush line, it makes you wonder why you would want this sitting cutie Raichu instead. Sandshrew! Oh, this is fantastic. This is really well made, because the brick pattern is actually printed onto the fabric, and the stitching actually matches up to it. Very well made. Also, it holds its little belly. Sandslash might also be up there with Butterfree in the best of the best pile. I mean, look at the quills. And they aren't even made of the gross heat cut method stuff. They are actually big and chonky and super soft. Very fun to pet, very fun to snuggle. The Nidorans, both are pretty great. I like the differences between them. The horn is funny because it's not that spiky, but it's overall well detailed. The ears seem not long enough though, even folded back, and the whiskers could be thinner, but I mean, it's a limitation of the medium. Nidorina is a very good looking sitting cutie, but it's almost standing on its hind legs, which I guess they do, but it still looks a tad odd. And the ears again are pretty folded back, but once they get unfolded, it is really cute. Nidoqueen. The amount of work that went into making sure they don't look like boobs is astounding. But other than that, it sits. It's not the cutest though, but a good weight lady kaiju. Nidorino. Wow, I thought I was accidentally looking at Nidoran again. It's just bigger. Nidoking. I don't know how I feel about its teeth. I enjoy that they aren't sticking out like Charizard, but they still are so shiny and the same color as the eyes. And its ears are forward, not back, which is the opposite of the problem we have with the others. Overall though, I am very pleased with this one. Very good design. It sits, and it fits. Clefairy looks like it's got some pink Digimon doo-doo on its forehead, but I do love how it sits. Clefairy is a man-spreader. And Clefable has even bigger Digimon doo-doo. Fantastic. Good wings and tail. Sits well. Its foot tips are a little oddly split in fours, so it looks spooky, like it could open up as a big mouth. But it's fine. Vulpix. Okay, why is its tail so massive? Also, its brown eyes are super odd in color palette choice, but that tail, dude, it forces it to sit even if it doesn't want to. Cute fabric for the feet, though. Ninetales. Oh man, back it up. This thing is so back heavy that it's actually funny to me. Plus, you can stick stuff through its tails. Also, it has the funny neck frill thing too. To critique Vulpix and Ninetales now, I get the intent with the tails. That's how their tails are. Though realistically, their tails are fluffy. In plush form, they could have just easily toned down the fluff a bit, on Vulpix especially. The real Pokemon have their fluff meshing with the fluff of the neighboring tail so that all of the tails don't have to be gargantuan. They could have done that. Each tail didn't have to be full size itself. Jigglypuff is the perfect ball to throw. It's got so much heft with all of the beans in the butt that it's kind of funny that it's the balloon Pokemon because it's not light, nor is it fluffy. It's actually one of the heavier plushes here, especially for its size. The eyes also seem a bit dull and have no reflections. It's like a doll's eyes. Wigglytuff! Has a mouth that is kind of gross. The ears make up for it though. It's very cute. Now Zubat. It doesn't sit. It just lays flat. Bad. But like good Halloween decoration up in a fake web, Golbat is also a layer. Not sitting, and not cute. But the mouth, good lord, my nightmare demons come to life. Oddish. Okay, so the little leaf in the front is actually held by a small metal wire flap thing, and its top bit is stretched to force the little curve. I've tried to straighten it so many times, but it does sit, and it's cute enough. It's kind of strange looking, but not super strange. I'm not gonna say it's kind of odd-ish. Gloom. They just kind of stapled fake drool to the mouth. It's not even coming from the inside of the mouth. It's like the top of the lip is just leaking saliva instead of the mouth. Not a fan. Okay, so Vileplume has the best sit so far. Its little feet, they stick out perfectly, and it's a nice weight. Good feel. I love the size of it also. Good fabric for the top. This is a very well-made product. Paris has got weird eyes. Like, they are fuzzy and firm with like a button inside of it. Also, the mushroom balls. Haha, balls. They do kind of have a weird issue because they're on little strings. If they were squashed in, I think it would work a lot better. Because right now they just kind of flop when it lays there. Parasect. Okay, the eyes on this one are gross. Like Ekans. Like the good material that Ekans has, but worse. And ball. And they are oddly soft too. I do like its dangly legs though, but I don't think you can call this a sit. Venonat. Okay. This thing is soft. This thing is soft. So soft. So fuzzy. But don't go mashing it into your face. The antenna, they have wires in them. Venomoth has the Beedrill problem. It can't sit. Why not go for the Butterfree style? Plus it looks like it has creepy bug ribs sticking out of its chest. The wings are okay though.
Diglett!
Ah yes, rocks are all hexagons. Look at that, it's on Dugtrio also. Also, does this confirm that the dirt and rock is a part of the Diglett because they're included in this plush of the Mon? No other Mon includes dirt. And then Dugtrio is just 3 Digletts, yet smaller. This is an issue I have with a lot of Pokemon merch actually, so I don't fault the plush line. Now, I don't know if they are sitting, but their noses are really fun to squish like a clown. Meowth! This is a cat. Wow. I know. So S tier right away. But the whiskers here are kind of bad. But it makes up for it because the coin on its head is oddly satisfying to touch. The tail, though. It is so needlessly straight it doesn't even look at itself in the mirror. Persian is oddly firm. Like if you go to squish it, it's rock solid. Also, the gem in its forehead is especially ball-shaped and sticking out much further than I think they're supposed to. But I love the little kitty pad feets. The toe beans, if you will. Like all cats. If it fits, it sits. Psyduck. Wait, I'm supposed to be rating these, aren't I? Well then, I give Psyduck a good out of rad. It's got a good sitting posture, and there is a lot of beans in this one to help it stay sit. Golduck has nothing really to write about though. The webbing is a nice touch, and it can sit, so it's like Bark's root beer. It's good. Mankey is a fluff ball, and wow, a lot of Gen 1 Mon were just balls with extra bits. This one's pretty soft though. The fluff makes it cuter. And Primeape is somehow softer. It's just a better version of Mankey. Just like the real thing. The arms are really fun to wiggle though. It makes it look so mad, but like cute mad. Growlithe, who you would think is soft, but not super soft. Just sort of sticky soft. The fuzz is just too long, but it's got a good boy sitting posture, so good. I could pat it for days, but I won't because it needs to heal. You see, earlier it tried to eat a bee, so its lips are extremely swollen. What is wrong with this plot? Who approved this? Now, Arcanine is soft. I guess the softness of these plushes have to do more so with the undercoat. But its hair is so freaking in the way of its face, it looks like a hippie who doesn't believe in scissors. Wait a second. It's Arcanine. That makes perfect sense. Poliwag. What a cutie. It's a ball. I enjoy the swirl. The tail feels uncomfortable though. It's like hollow. It feels wrong. It's way too thick for what it is, yet it's ew. Poliwhirl is the best of the 3. It sits, it fits, it's cute, the arms are good, and Poliwrath is essentially the same thing, but the hands are open and it's got angry eyes. God, Gen 1. Imagine thinking this was the pinnacle of Pokemon design. Abra though. Abra's got good design, and as a plush it's really great too. Its tail here seems a bit wrongly thick, but still wrongly skinny towards the end. It's like a banana. Otherwise though, I love the look and the style of the layering of the fabrics. Kadabra has the best squishy tail of ever though. It's so huge, and you can just squish it all the way. I did always wonder if Kadabra's tail was mostly fluff, or if it was mostly fat, like gecko tails. I suppose this answers the question. And best of all, the spoon! It bends! Though it's incredibly uncomfortable. Do not touch the side of that spoon. Right when you thought the tail made this the most comfortable cutie to cuddle, he cuts ya! And then Alakazam has 2 spoons.
All the better to cut you with, my dear.
And the elongated mustache makes him even worse to hold. I dig the look from afar, though. Now Machamp. What a boring dude. Something about this plush is extremely off. He's oddly tubular? Like a yam? Yeah, it's a purpley blue yam. Its head is like the blue elven in the chipmunk. And it barely sits. Machoke's got the power pose here. What a buff hot rod. I do like the belt as well, but it's kind of hard to make it sit. It probably just wants to hide its shamefully ugly back. And Machamp! Oh dear God. So this one is just wrong. Its lips are 2 bananas. 2 oversized bananas, so large that you can see them from the back. The banana lips are larger than its head. Yeah, and he's so top heavy. I suppose this Machamp skips leg day. And so does Bellsprout. Not thick, very stick. So stick that it doesn't even have the strength to sit. Still cute though. So it's gonna be a succulent out of a Monstera on the rating list. Weepinbell. I don't like its mouth. It's oddly hollow. Like, I get that that's what it's supposed to be. But, the Pokemon fandom really shouldn't be trusted with shapes like this. Victory Bell. This one is better. The leaves are pretty good, but the oddly thin vine on its back makes me want to pick it up like those tall teapots and pour out all of its insides, which are probably gross. Tentacool is cool enough. I give it a 10 out of cool. I like its skirt also. Tentacruel. Very fun to put on your head like a head scratcher. The tentacles are very firm, and surprisingly, its nose is really funny looking, but can you call this sitting? Geodude. Mine has a weird thread on its head, so I could hang it from my ceiling if I wanted, but why would I want to do that? I'd rather not look at this trash rock again. I mean, look at how angry its forehead makes it seem. It's not a happy dude, it's an angry dude. And again with the hexagonal rocks. Graveler is weird, and I disapprove of its eyes, for they are too bedroomy. Stop trying to seduce me. I don't care how rock hard you are. It's the eyebrows. Why do rocks have eyebrows? Golem reminds me of that bread. You know, that bread that, like that bread that pulls apart? The pull-apart bread. No idea what I'm talking about? Okay, well, also, if you push its head in, it looks like a gross butt, so I'm gonna have to give this a nice B-. B is for butt. Ponyta! Yeah, it sits, and it's a horse. Horses can sit like this, right? I know cows can. Also, soft fire is fun. Rapidash! Same as the pony, but the horn is bent, so it's funny to me. I suppose most unicorns aren't great at being straight, but why did they have to make the dang thing sad? It's actually frowning at me, and Ponyta isn't much better with its dumb white guy smirk. Slowpoke generally is cute and sits well. Mine leans though, and I also sort of see a trend with the heads being way larger. I'm guessing it's cause they are toy plushies meant to be cute. They are sitting cuties. How am I just now realizing this? Oh, is this a Slowpoke joke? Slow bro. So here's a fun fact. It actually has the full tail in there, inside the shoulder mouth. I sort of want to get a second one to cut the shoulder off of it. I'll have a special set. That way I can show off the shoulder's teethers too, which are terrifying. Magnemite here, sporting the old school greenish metal. Nice. Plus, the little screws look like legs, which also make it good at sitting. Magneton, though. Their screws are touching. Wink. Also, it doesn't sit. And even if it could, whose butt would it use? Do you think Magneton take turns on whose butt to use? Or which non-existent mouth to eat from? Far-fetched. It's a duck with a leak, and it sits. I kinda wish the wings weren't stitched to the body, but it's okay. A nice dinner out of 7. Another soft one, Doduo. But it's got like, wood? Or plastic tubes in its neck? Did the nurses forget to take these out? I guess you're not allowed to bend these necks, which does help keep it up while it sits. Which it does, thanks to its grody feet. 2 out of 3. Dodrio also has neck tubes, and also has a sick fade tail. Nice touch. 3 out of 3. Teen. Seal and Dugong will forever be the same Pokemon in my eyes. One is just happier. Both are okay plushies. They sit, unless you consider this a lay. And they can hold hands if you make them hold hands. Grimer, hey buddy, you missed something on your face. Here, let me get you a napkin. Or, no? No, that's a part of you. I'm so sorry. Does Grimer normally have that? Yes it does, but not nearly as pointy. Haha! It's Ligma spelled backwards. Wait, no. Oh well. Jokes aside, I really do enjoy how they did the gloop on its mouth. it's actually connecting the lips. It's a really good touch. Unlike any touch you'll get from an actual muck. That's always the bad touch. Backwards. This is a very surprised Shelter. I love that you can just peel back the shell. It's probably very painful. But other notes, I do enjoy how floppy the tongue is. It's super fun to shake. Cloyster is, it's very foldy. It's got a lot of small folds and nooks and crannies. It appears difficult to clean, but I also hear that you're not supposed to. And unfortunately, it's stitched up tight, so you can't have an open one to see the darkness that is its face. But at least its spikes are soft and not at all like Raticate's. Now, I hate Ghastly. I super enjoy these eyes and the mouth as a look, though I hate touching them. And I am worried about storing it. Like, what if I wrinkle these eyes permanently? They're so soft, they're like foam. Wait, are these eyes just hot glued on? That makes me even more worried about its longevity. Also, the gaseous mist is trash. Awful, simply awful. Oh, it's Ghastly, all right. 92 out of 898. Haunter has a great face, but there is one glaring issue. Its hands are connected. I mean, I guess they kind of have to be, but how is it possible that Haunter actually looks more cursed by having its hands connected? Or are they feet in this case? It looks like the boss in Sonic's Death Chamber. Gengar. It's very difficult to mess up a design as solid as Gengar. And they still haven't. This is a very fine looking plush, though I still don't wish to touch it. Its back is very sharp. Also, the tag placement is odd, and I want to be nowhere near this. Onix is a pile of boulders, and again, it's stitched so I can't stretch it out or wrap it around things. Also, we see the hexagon rocks again. Did they at least get the number of boulders right? 13 out of 15. Drowsy. Ha! I love this dopey boy. This is my new favorite. It's got good heft too. Love the mouth getting split, I guess. And it also looks really dumb. Like actually. Like Patrick Star levels of stupid. 10 out of 9. Hypno. The fluffy collar is pretty great, and I love the little plumb bob that he's got. Though the knot is cinching the ring down a bit, so that's a lost point. I might try and get someone to attach a nice metal washer to it so I can hit myself with it accidentally later. Yeah, that'd be great. Krabby! Love this dude. Good leg size, not too small. Stiff though, so it's got a weird feel like Tentacruel. The inside of the claws are also a weird mesh. Kingler is actually just bigger, and it has the same style of mesh claw and legs. They're not really crazy, just here is a crab plush. It's got retro anime eyes. Here you go. Voltorb. Okay, so it's a ball with beans? It's perfect. Except it's a deflated ball. Mine didn't have enough fluff added to it. How am I supposed to throw this at everyone like a Pokeball if it's full of pain beans? It's like a cat full of pain beans. And Electrode isn't even bigger than Voltorb. Did the Pokemon Company really sell me two nearly identical balls for $12 each? Why, yes. Yes, they did. And now I'm here to sell you today's sponsor, which also works well with balls, whether they're nearly identical or not. It's Manscaped's 4.0 body hair trimmer with skin-safe technology, which greatly helps reduce nicks and cuts. I'm sure everyone appreciates not having those, including these Pokemon. So whether it's some hair here and there, or you're practically a sheep, Manscaped has got you covered, even all around your sensitive bits. This new model is waterproofed and charges wirelessly, and even features a travel lock setting and length options. And thanks to its integrated light, you can even get a good trim deep into your unknown places. Ooh. Plus, with my link in the description and the coupon code LOXEDIN20, you get 20% off, and who doesn't love a deal? Oh, and speaking of the Exeggcute, that's the next Pokemon on the list. With the Exeggcute plush, the crack is weird, but I love that they are all their own little plushie, and they aren't some weird single-piece patty. If they weren't slightly stitched together, you could hide them around your house, like little Easter eggs. But like not actually eggs, because they are seeds. But I guess seeds are just tree eggs. Well, Exeggutor looks like a gross taro root that's been left out to sprout and has icky face gloops on it. I am displeased. Bone, bone, bone. Very cute. What's under the mask? I can feel the top of the head. I need to buy another one for science. Wait, I'm sure someone has done this on the internet. Yes! And oh, it's a Cyndaquil. Duh. Well, now we know it's not Charmander. This is canon, because the Pokemon Company made this, and that's how it works. right? Metalwhack. The skull is actually fused to this plush, and that means it's the bone and not the shrew anymore, right? Plus, this one's really cute, and I could see having a pile of these. 9 bones out of 10. Hitmonlee doesn't sit super well, and is extremely top-heavy. The leg banding is a neat effect, though, even if it's a little off-color. Hitmonchan, though, oh man, I love how perfect it sits with its little dressy thing. Plus, he's got an almost cat face. It's got the face of a cat and the body of a... He doesn't have the body of a cat. But you can shake it and it hits himself in the face repeatedly. Haha, Lickitung. This is the worst tongue. It's either folded up or down, and neither are like the actual position of the actual tongue. Plus, isn't its tail supposed to be more curvy and pointed and not a weird bent hot dog? Gross. Coughing is like really fun to hold. The nubbins just make it a really good ball to crush in your hands. It's a good A-tier balloon. Wheezing is similar, but worse in every way. The extra little tumor isn't nice and soft at all. And watch out for those pointy bits. Rhyhorn is extremely greebled? Like in-game, it's just, skin and stuff, but in plush form, wow. It really is just flaps and patterns. I dig it, more than normal Rhyhorn. In fact, this is the new, better Rhyhorn. Rhydon is okay, I guess. It sort of leans forward, so minus 50 points Hufflepuff. Rhydon is totally a Hufflepuff also, fight me in the comments. Speaking of eating, which we haven't been, it's Chansey, with a really off-puttingly yellow egg. Is this an organic Chansey? Well, it sits real good, because it's a ball with a flat butt. Can't mess that up too much. Wait, I lied. You can mess up a ball. It's Tangela. This has got to be the worst execution of a good idea I've seen in a long time. I mean, I like that they were going with a real tangled look instead of making it fluffy like Venonat or something, but the fabric is just really, really gross to touch, and the weaving is extremely uniform, not tangled at all. And it's really tight, not loose like spaghetti at all. Also, its shoes aren't shoe enough. I mean, what are those? So the next time someone in your group project wants to give up, show them what a disappointment giving up will make them. Kangaskhan is very pokey again, and covered in hexagons and shapes, but I do think the real one had that, so I guess it's fine, even if it makes it uncomfortable as a plush. Also, you can take the baby out, and it's cursed. Plus, its face is just a flat image. Horsey gets negative points, as it cannot sit in any way whatsoever. Plus, it looks like one of those squeezy clowns, but it's permanently squeezed. At least it's kinda cute. Seadra has similar problems, except it looks like it's just angry and sad at the same time. I do enjoy the armor plating style with the fabric layering, though. 1C out of draw. Goldeen is just a fish plush. Gross. It's got butthole lips. However, the fins and the tails are pretty well made and flowy. Still hate the eyes, though. Quit playing coy with me. And Seaking has got it worse. The teeth in its mouth are trash tier. And the face with the horn, it looks like a Pinocchio nose. But good boy points again for the cool tail and patterning fabric. Staryu is a great little dude, a hand-sized little friend made of dense good stuff. 5 out of 5. Starmie took Staryu and put 2 of them together and also made it way too thick. And the gem looks all blorby and round instead of nice and sharply cut. 2 5s out of 10. That's not a good score. Mr. Mime was already terrible, and now it's a doll that can haunt you while you sleep. Great. Plus it sits up like trash, and it takes way too long to get it to sit upright in the first place. It's the fault of the dumb feet. But at least it can do the "had to do it to him" pose. So that's nice. Scyther turned out pretty great. It's sort of weird making a cool, edgy bug lizard into a soft little plushie, but they didn't ruin it all that much. The scythes are kind of floppy for what they should be. They could have used the stiffer material that they already used for other things, like Scyther's own wings, and the little vest thing that they stitched over its body is loose, so you could probably make it go naked. And that sounds cursed. It also sits kind of weird too, so maybe it's actually not that great. Jinx! Yeah, it's okay. We're done looking at it and its dumb french fry looking hair. Electabuzz! Shame it's not in its classic pose. Poor thing. Though again, when they do printed fabric, it's nice.
Butthead.
It's Magmar. Mine's face reminds me of Huey, the giant baby duck from the 90s. And sorta like a really dumb, sad Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, if it were an on-fire platypus with improperly placed implants. Pinsir is pretty good. The horns are a little funnily too far apart, but overall this is a great execution. I do believe it deserves an honorary pin, sir. Tauros is oddly dark-colored, but honestly, not once in my life did I think I would ever say the sentence, "That Tauros looks really cute." And yet, here we are. It's a cute cow! Even if its horns are a little wonky, but maybe that just adds to its personality. Magikarp. Yeah, they made another fish plush. If I had gotten more of them, I could have put them in an aquarium. But then washing these things is kind of hard, trust me. Well, it's Magikarp. 5 out of 5. Gyarados. Oh dear, look at its dumb face. Talk about a botched nose job. Also, it's so small and its head is so massive and its jaw is jutting outward instead of downward like it should. However, if you do close its mouth, it sure is funny looking. Like an unhappy paperboy from Queens. Lapras is very daw. The shell is so cute and fun to rub. Its neck is extremely loose though. They must have used all of the supporting wooden dowels for the Doduos. Dodowels. Ditto is just another plush of another blob. $12 please. It's Eevee. It sits, and it's cute. What else do you want? I swear Eevee's head has been getting bigger and bigger each year. With Vaporeon, the collar seems to be high, or maybe too thin. Good tail though, and it sits all prim and properly. Jolteon is surprisingly not spiky like the other ones. Like, they learned how to make other sitting cuties painful to hold, but didn't do it for the one that makes sense to be painful to hold? Odd choice. Flareon is so fluffy, I'm gonna die! What a cutie! 19 Eevees out of 20! Porygon. You know, they did this dude okay. I mean, it's hard to do sharp corners in plush, but they did it acceptably well enough. Except its head is the size of Oklahoma after it's rained for 50 years. Very bimg. Ammonite is, wow. Wow, it's perfect. It's good. Even the googly eyes. It's perfect to hold, perfectly swirled, perfect colors. It's the perfect ultimate life form. A shame evolution kept going. And Amistar is basically the same except spines, and it's fun to slap, and also it's got big tentacles. So pluses all around. Unlike Kabuto, which is a cute bug, but like it doesn't really sit. I guess you could put stuff in its arms though, so it has that going for it. Kabutops. I mean, cool backplating, but its arms look like they broke and never healed correctly. Did they sew this on wrong? It's kind of like Tauros's horns, but significantly worse. Oh no. I even accidentally got 2 of these Kabutops, because while ordering all these plushes, sometimes I'd accidentally order 2. Like, I also have 2 Hoppips. But like, both of the Kabutops have this same problem. He's just like, woo! And Aerodactyl! The teeth! Good lord! Like, they stitched so many things to each other, so why not stitch the teeth to the mouth to make them at least be inside of the jaw? It looks like Charizard and Ridley had defected offspring. And Snorlax it's just another Snorlax, but it's small. Here, I can put it on my huge one. Perfect. I should collect so many different sizes of Snorlax plush so I can do the don't talk to me or my son meme, but like 8 times. Well, I feel like the Snorlax is a bit of a flop. It's too stiff and round, and it's way out of proportion with the other cuties. A shame. Articuno! I like the dynamic pose. Most winged mon have just been at rest, but the trio of birds all have them out. And Articuno's chest really makes me realize it's a fuzzy coat to keep warm in the ice region, and it's not just because it's a fluffy bird. The only point against this plush, I think, is its tail. It seems super flat, and it makes me think of a gross piece of kelp. Zapdos! Thanks, I hate it. Its nose is the worst. It's even stupider looking than Fearow, but at least the wings and tail are cool. I do like how sharp and pokey they are, because they should be. All it needs is a sharp beak too, and it'd be perfect. That's why I hate it so much, because it's so close to being good. And Moltres is kind of generic looking, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, fluff for the flames, I get that. This probably looks better than if they made it solid like Magmar's eyebrows, but it still makes me wonder what it would look like if we shaved all of that off with today's sponsor, the Manscaped 4.0 body hair trimmer. Okay, I won't do that again. Besides, I think it just looked like a rubber chicken. Dratini is a cute little noodle. 8 out of 10. Dragonair is an even bigger cute noodle, and also a really good plush. 9 out of 10. Dragonite looks like it got into a fist fight and broke some fingers. But otherwise, it's a great little plush that reminds me of that Dragon Tales cartoon. Something about its proportions in this plush form specifically. 9 out of 10. Mewtwo surprisingly has too skinny of a tail, and its fingers aren't round and bulbous enough. Also, it's missing its digitigrade feet, like they just kind of cut off its calves. And also the nub is on the inside instead of the outside. And also its second neck is oddly flat. It may seem like I'm complaining about this one a lot, but it's actually pretty good of a plush overall. But a lot of little flaws start to add up. 150 out of 151. But like, it's an exponential scale, so that's actually really bad. And lastly, it's Mew. it's still a little adorable cat fetus. The tail is stitched to the head to give it some support in its verticality, or maybe that's just what they want you to think, and instead it's foreshadowing its head being connected to its body in another way, like another neck, when they clone it. Well, either way, it needs more toe beans and a bigger tail bulb at the end, and a mouth. Even if it's just a little dot, that'd be nice. Oh well, though. So now, you've seen every Kanto sitting cutie in my lightbox with a turntable, and heard my voiceover at the same time. How swell. What a wonderful way to spend
35
minutes. I'll go ahead and continue doing this for every set of sitting cuties. In fact, my amazing wife who recorded all of this video has already recorded all of the Johto and Hoenn sitting cuties as well. And the Sinnoh set can't be too far off with the Gen 4 remakes coming soon, so maybe next year. Well then, until next time, thank you for watching. You probably sitting cutie, you.